the Marriott Center on the campus of Brigham Young University. We welcome you to tonight's game between the Penn State Nittany Lions and the Cougars of Brigham Young University. For the Nittany Lions, conference games. Now look at the Brigham Young starters. Other than Justin Whitehour, they have been Back to the campus of Brigham Young University. I'm Frank Gardenia with Bruce Parkhill. And Bruce, several important officials are Vern Harris, Lonnie Dixon, and Ron Zetcher. And Penn State with Dan Earl controlling the tap. Earl guarded by Hamilton. Greg Stevenson starting for the second straight game. Here's Booth inside and taken away.
I'll tell you, that time BYU did a great job in every area defensively. They covered the perimeter screens for Pete Lasicki, and they dug out well on Calvin Booth when he got the ball inside.
This is Brian Hamilton out to Bauer. Danny Bauer, a junior college transfer. This is the freshman Wesley.
This is going to be a real interesting matchup to see how Penn State guards Wesley. Right now, there's a mismatch because Greg Stevenson's only 6'5". Wesley's 6'9".
Whitehour, the senior, with the miss. And here come the Nittany Lions. Earl left free.
That was a real easy shot. BYU didn't hedge out on the ball screen.
Booth with the block on Album.
See, I think Calvin Booth can be a really big factor tonight defensively, even when he's not guarding the ball. He can come over and help out with BYU. See, they're not doubling down on Calvin now. They're letting him go, and I think if he gets good position, he can do what he just did all night.
That's the first bucket for Booth. Penn State back within one. Calvin had 11 points against North Carolina State on Saturday. Whitehour on the drive, and Booth with his third block of the game.
There, Calvin again came from the weak side.
Lasicki with a quick trigger, got it.
Well, there's one of those transition opportunities.
Seconds.
This is a big possession for them, I think. If they can score here, they'll get some momentum going into halftime.
You see the time on the clock, 15 on the shot clock. Hamilton missing the shot, and ball goes off the hands of Booth. It'll be Brigham Young's ball.
Man, I'll tell you, that wasn't the kind of shot I don't think they wanted. Going one-on-one with a guy right in the face. They need to run a good set and get an open shot here.
Hamilton is not a great shooter from the perimeter, only about 41% from the floor. He's given them some improved speed and penetration ability out at the point, but he's not a great shooter. We have 19 seconds.
See if they run something for Whitehour. Whitehour's a good shooter in the game, and Calvin Booth is guarding him.
This is Archibald on Lasicki. Almost walked, and Ivory with a block on Whitehour. Danny Earl has to shoot the buzzer. Got it!
Oh, yes, sir.
It doesn't count. Yes, sir, it does. Sir. Danny Earl with a hand in his face at the buzzer. Take another look.
This is great help defense by Titus Ivory this time. Whitehour gets a real open look here. He's going to knock one down. Titus comes over, recognizes. Danny Earl just pulls up and hits a routine three. Bottom.
Wow, what a shot by Danny Earl. 31-20. The Nittany Lions by 11. Look at Danny. Had it all the way. Penn State with a double-digit lead. Earl has 6.
Down in real short. Reynolds in motion. Harris is hit, and the Thundering Herd stop the Rockets.
Well, Harris just slipped.
Ricky Hall made the play.
And they did a great job having all the people in the box.
Three with the football and possibly some momentum from that defensive stop. Pennington to Moss. Broke it up. Clarence Love. And it's 1st and 10. Their own 40. Doug Chapman with a big hole, and Chapman slips and slides across the 50. Pennington over the middle. Coldclaw the catch. Inside the 30, down to the 25. Lavorne Coldclaw.
We'll give Bob Pruitt credit. This is what he said he wanted to do, is throw the ball.
Western put its height advantage to good use. They led from start to finish in a 72-59 win over the Blue Demons. Brad Palmer reports on an interesting day in Evanston.
Northwestern had too much size for DePaul's four-guard lineup. Evan Eschmeyer scored almost at will and matching his career high of 30 points. While Northwestern was shooting layups, DePaul was resorting to long jump shots.
It certainly seemed like that as the game went on. They really wore us down physically. And their big kids, give their big kids credit. I thought Evan Eschmeyer played an outstanding game.
Eschmeyer set a school record by connecting on 92% of his shots. This was his only miss.
You know, that happens, and Coach let me know about it, too.
He did, huh?
Yeah.
He wasn't kidding?
No, not at all. Not one bit.
Well, of course. I mean, he's shooting it from 2 feet. If you're 7 foot and you're shooting from 2 feet, you shouldn't miss any shot, should you?
Northwestern newcomer Sean Wink hit 6 of 10 from three-point range en route to 21 points, while DePaul's Jermaine Watts made just 1 of 14 three-point tries, and DePaul shot just 29% as a team.
Here's our SEC champions. Despite 6 turnovers, the Vols took the lead on this Peyton Manning to Marcus Nash TD. Manning had 4 TD tosses as the Vols squeak out a 30-29 win and head for the Orange Bowl. Number 2 Nebraska ended any hopes of another Big 12 championship game upset by scoring 37 points against number 14 Texas A&M in the first half. The Huskers roll 54-15. They're headed to the Orange Bowl. Meanwhile, Colorado State is going to the Holiday Bowl after Kevin McDougal rushed for 255 yards and 3 TDs in the WAC championship game. Senior quarterback Chris McCoy rushed for 205 yards and 3 TDs as Navy worked Army. For the first time in the 63-year history of the Heisman Trophy, a defensive player has won the award. Michigan defensive back Charles Woodson beat out Tennessee quarterback Peyton Manning by nearly 300 votes. Washington State quarterback Ryan Leaf finished 3rd in the voting. To the NFL, Steeler quarterback Cordell Stewart's 2-point conversion to Yancey Thigpen capped a Pittsburgh comeback to tie the Patriots at 21 apiece inside of 2 minutes. Then it's Storm Johnson with a 31-yard field goal in overtime for a gutty 24-21 come-from-behind win. The Patriots fall behind Miami in the AFC East. Pittsburgh clinches the AFC Central. The Giants won their first NFC East title since 1990 with a 30-10 win over Washington. The Redskins committed 6 turnovers to fall to 7-1. To college basketball, number 1 has fallen. The Michigan Wolverines stormed back from a 17-point second-half deficit for an 81-73 win over Duke. Robert Traylor led the way for Michigan with 24. North Carolina may be headed for the top spot after a tough win over number 20 Princeton. The Tigers led with 7 minutes to go, but Shamon Williams, 19.
This day is synonymous with the Chicago Bulls and the NBA. On Thursday afternoon, the defending world champions melted the Miami Heat 90-80. Michael Jordan blew up with a double-bubble, 24 points and 11 boards. The Bulls have reeled off a season-high 6 straight victories. Utah coach Jerry Sloan collected his 500th victory and a 107-103 victory over Houston. The 1-2 punch of Stockton and Malone combined for 44 points. Bowling is also a part of the Christmas spirit. At the Aloha Bowl, Washington completely destroyed Michigan State 51-23. Rashawn Shahi rushed for 193 yards and 2 scores. Spartans have lost 4 straight bowl appearances. The Alabama trio of Curtis Alexander, Ed Sissom, and Dennis Riddle all scored touchdowns in the Grays' 31-24 triumph over the Blue. Christmas spirit. At the Aloha Bowl, Washington completely destroyed Michigan State 51-23. And in headline sports. First stop, the NBA, where Milwaukee bested Atlanta in overtime 99-94, and that breaks the Hawks' string of 11 straight overtime victories. Tyrone Hill had 14 points, 16 rebounds for the Bucks. Bowl, Ole Miss came back to defeat Marshall 34-31 on Deuce McAllister's late fourth-quarter plunge. In college hoops, Michigan took the Puerto Rico Holiday Classic with a 93-61 win over number 19 Syracuse. Dwayne Walker, CNN. Headline Sports.
It's the Devils hosting the Islanders. New York's Brian Berard streaks in on the power play, abuses Rob Niedermeyer, then 5-holes Martin Brodeur. Watch again as Berard displays some deft stick handling under duress, then puts just the right touch on his shot, gets the goal, and makes the play of the day.
Play of the day, brought to you by
Watson takes off 14 yards of the touchdown run. The point after is good. 7-0. Purdue jumps in front of Indiana.